Welcome back to episode 30 of Let's Play Geoguessr. This is the last episode of the run. I'm not done with Geoguessr, far from it, but I want to try something a little different. So I'm going to take this series off for a bit, retool it, and when it comes back, it'll be a completely different format. What I have in mind is still the same sort of random game setup, but instead of playing blind, I'll go through, having done my research, pointing out the clues, and talk about the various things you can find and how close I was able to get. Now, this sort of format is going to be a lot more work, and it has some very different requirements as well, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to put it together yet. So I think the next Geoguessr video that I put together will probably be a sort of a preview. Just a single round that I've put together as a sort of practice, and to try and figure out how I'm going to do it. Because there's going to be a lot of on-screen information needed, Wikipedia entries, images, maps. Once I've figured out how I'm going to do all that, I'll put up a preview and try and get some feedback. And at that point, I should have a much better idea of whether that is a course that I want to take. I'll probably be back at some point with more off-the-cuff Let's Play Geoguessr like this anyway. But after this episode, there will be a bit of a break. Anyway, enough babble from me. Let's, for the final time this series, see the world. Okay, sign, that's Russia. Okay, half a kilometer down a road. Okay, it's a flat area of Russia. Yeah, Russia is definitely something where my research, is that a larder? I think it is. Seems to be absolutely rammed with people. Russia is one of those places in the world that inevitably I end up making a bad guess. And usually I end up scoring low. I don't know what to find. I can't read Cyrillic. I need to learn. But you see a place name in Russia, and how are you possibly going to find it in the largest country in the world? I mean, you can't, you know, how are you going to find a village? It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. So there's just, I don't know. I need to learn some tips about Russia from knowledgeable people on the subject. What I could probably do is narrow it down by looking at the scope of Street View imagery in Russia, because the chances are there are whole areas of the country that haven't even been driven, and that at least probably would lead to a sensible default position when you don't know where it is. Say most of the Street View imagery is in the west, then you probably should drop the pin in the west. That's normally what I do anyway. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. I normally just drop the pin somewhere around Moscow, but I've had, you know, guesses sort of around the south of the country, the far east of the country, the north of the country. It doesn't seem all that predictive. So let's just drop a pin there and hope. Well, that worked a lot better than expected. We were only less than 100 kilometers away. And when you zoom out to the scale of the country, you can see that is not far out at all. We were a little east of Moscow. Somehow managed to grab 4,690 points from that Russia round. Let's hope our luck holds. This looks very British. But let's continue, because actually it's only the road that looks British, and I don't think it is. The vegetation doesn't so much. Let's see, though. There's a road sign here. What does it say? Native Plant Regeneration Area. That is not a British sign. The typography is all wrong for that. So, are we in the No, we're not in the US. Of course we're not, because they're driving on the left. Okay, so Australia? New Zealand? Maybe New Zealand. Oh no, we've just lost it. Oh no, here we go. One of these carriageways has... hang on. We need to see that sign. That sign is key to getting something here. Okay, Marundi, Scone, and Muswell Brook. Welcome to the Hunter. That's the name of a place? Well, I still don't know. I don't recognise that that signage. I mean, well, the typography on the bottom half of the sign there is the same font as is used on American road signs. but I guess they use it somewhere else in other places as well. Okay, let's carry on a little further. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we find something. I'm not optimistic, and we're going to have to make a guess as to which country we're in. Australia, I guess. Where, though? What road are we on? We haven't found any sign of that. We have only 13 seconds left. Right, well, we're just going to have to zoom in and drop a pin. So let's go in the southeast somewhere of Australia. I hope it's not New Zealand. Well, 400 odd kilometres away in the vicinity of Sydney. We were right about that, although pure fluke rather than skill. There's Muswell Brook, there's Scone. And yes, we were on the A15 main road in southeast Australia. 3,800 points. On then to round 3. This is not a round I'm going to enjoy. By the looks of it, we're in the States, perhaps. Pass with care. Well, there's a railway, there's a road, a very long straight road. I don't think we're going to necessarily find a lot. Let's find the street. Let's look at the street name there. Unlikely it's going to, give us much of a, we don't want to go off that road because, East Dakota Junction. That probably doesn't mean we're in North or South Dakota, does it? I mean, Dakota, I don't think we can make that inference. We still essentially could be anywhere, but let's see if we can find the name of, well, there's a number there, 308 area code. Anyone know that? I don't. They're resurfacing the road on the other side of us. Unless we can carry on and find... That Street View car nearly left the road then, it seemed. That was strange. Right, unless we can continue and find the identity of this highway, or a sign that tells us which state we're in, then we are going to have to wildly guess. But what we can see is that we're in a place that is very flat. Some distant hills there, but not much else. We are crossing a river called the White River, which is just about the most generic name for a river. I don't know, central United States somewhere? Could be in Canada. I really have absolutely no idea. We haven't found anything that sheds any light on the road that we're on, and God knows there's very little else. So, let's just, I don't know, drop ourselves in Nebraska and see. Well, that was fortuitous. We ended up only about 400 kilometers away in the right state. I mean, the wrong side of the state. But since that was just a last-second wild guess, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. We were close to a town called Chadron. Well, this game is going rather well. What a beautiful round 4 initial vista there. Okay, El Paraje? Paraje? Okay. So somewhere speaks Spanish. What does that say? Can we find a... No. Can we find a town? Can we find a flag, a sign? This road is going to be very bendy, which is not great for Geoguessr because it means it's probably going to slow us down as we traverse all these bends. And it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to find anything even on the other side of them. Okay, let's see. Let's see, we've got a minute 13. Can we find anything at this roadside stop that sheds any light on anything? Because I suspect we're not going to see much else. Well, there's some fresh fruits of various kinds from a roadside vendor. I can't tell what they are. I'm not even sure of the language. Is this Portuguese or is it Spanish? Puente San Ramon. Now, if we can find a road identifier, that's all that I could really ask for. But in 30 seconds, it seems unlikely. So are we going to go for... I mean, this is an impressive landscape. I would say, I don't know what... I don't know why, but I would say we're more likely in like South America somewhere than in Central America. But I have no real basis for that. So I don't know, let's put ourselves in the mountains here in Peru. Well, nope, that one was a miss. We were in the mountains. Mexico does have impressive mountains, apparently. I didn't realize it had mountains quite that impressive. So we just kind of tanked this game. Only 227 points there, so we're not in the running for any sort of high score for certain. But let's see what round 5 has in store. Talk about things you don't want to see when the window opens. Oh, this is dismal. Okay, let's try and find a vehicle. Maybe we at least see which... well, there's a sign. Let's see what the sign says. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's not a bad sign to see, actually. We're in Texas. On Farm Road 54 in Texas. Well, I don't think we're going to find Farm Road 54 on the map. But that's better than Australia, which is what I would have maybe initially assumed we were on. Look how long and straight and featureless this road is. It looks as though we could travel along here for an hour of Geoguessr time and still not find much. So that's we're on the east to west farm road, number 54. I don't know. Are the farm roads, are these tiny little things? If they all right, let's assume they are. Are they? Is there a pattern? 1285, 1180. Do they get higher if we go east west? Like we've got a low number, so we just have to find some sort of logic to the numbering of the roads. There probably isn't any. It's probably just in order of construction or something. There are a lot of 400s around here, but no, I don't think we're gonna really find anything here. All we need is just to drop a pin then somewhere in Texas. Let's go inland quite a way because it looks quite dry, and go around there. Well, not too bad. 4,273 points for about 240 miles away from the place in Texas. I think we probably found our only useful sign on that whole stretch of road. So let's take a look at the summary. 16,787 points for that round. That puts us comfortably above the half score, but we're a long way off a good one. And if we take a look at the scoreboard now with the season complete, we can see that round put us right in the middle, basically. Just the midpoint of the season. Just a very average score. Scrolling back up to the top, our best of the season was 4 episodes ago. 24,443 is the best ever. That's as good as it got in this run of 30 episodes. And that is it for this run of Let's Play Geoguessr. I'll be back with more at some point in the future. In the meantime, I'll be uploading other stuff. Thanks very much for watching, especially those of you who have stuck with me through part or all of this run. I really appreciate it, and I hope you got something out of it. I certainly did. I'm Chris, and I'll see you again soon.